Getting down to it, semi-final round in the MLS NEXT Cup playoffs. U16, the GA Cup champions, perhaps tournament favorites, Real Salt Lake, taking on an Inter Miami team that has been on quite the run this week here in Murfreesboro. We show you the bracket. Miami easing by Vancouver in penalty kicks. They shut out Athletic FC in the quarters on Tuesday to get here. Meanwhile, RSL's been scoring goals for fun. 6 against Charlotte, 4 more against Orlando City Youth. But they've got a test in front of them, this stingy Inter Miami side here this afternoon. We'll welcome you to the broadcast booth here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, alongside Jaleel Anibaba, former MLS defender. My name's Evan Weston. Jaleel, this RSL team has been so much fun to watch over the last several months. Now Miami going to be the one to try to pull the upset. Yeah, this one is going to be a tale of two different styles. When you look at Miami, their defense has been able to push them through into the semifinals. And on the flip, of course, Real Salt Lake has been scoring goals for fun. What I am hoping for is a delicious matchup with a lot of goals and a lot of intensity, because that's typically what a knockout round gets you. Take a look at the starting 11s. Miami going 4-3-3, just like the first team, as they build from within to try and supplement themselves through their academy. Sean Gormley, center back, really nice player, at a goal earlier on in the tournament. Meanwhile, for RSL, all about their center forward, Van Parker, one of the top prospects in MLS. Absolutely, Van Parker has been cooking, as has that front three, if you will, even though it's classed in a 4-2-3-1. They will attack with 3 when it makes a whole lot of sense. If you're not sharp on the defensive end, they will punish you. Parker, a brace in the win over Orlando on Tuesday. He will lead the line for Real Salt Lake as they try to supplement their GA Cup title with an MLS NEXT Cup. The final season-ending tournament, all the marbles. The winner will move on to Saturday's final, take on the winner of FC Dallas and Atlanta United, and we will keep an eye on that game throughout the game as well. RSL in gold, Miami in their signature pink. And Miami an upstart, of course, an expansion team just 5 years ago. They have shown well at this tournament. Their U17 team is in the semifinals. They will play tomorrow, and their U16s taking the field here. Those were the only 2 playoff sides, and they are 2 for 2 thus far. RSL, a long storied history of developing young stars. Perhaps a few of the next for Real Salt Lake on the field here this afternoon, this morning here at Central Time, as we kick off just after 11:15. Official checking his watch. We are underway in the U16 MLS NEXT Cup playoff semifinals. RSL trying to go down the left to Hunter Peralta, but out for an early Miami throw. See which of these 2 teams can dictate the tempo. You know, both of their first teams like to play with the ball. Of course, with Miami, it sort of goes without saying. RSL through young American star Diego Luna, another player who came through the academy system. Miami with some early possession. This is Nash Dearman at right back. Liam Vezaga will act as a holding midfielder today. There's some pressure from Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, and Evan, what you're always looking for in the first 15 minutes is who's willing and ready to win those individual battles.
Andreo Gajek nearly in, but Miami able to take the ball off him right at the top of the penalty area. RSL perhaps looking to be a little bit more direct of the 2. It has led them to tremendous success here this week. 10 goals in the round of 16 and quarterfinal combined. Now Vezaga moving forward for Miami. Sends it out to Zidane Cadet in the penalty area. His ball behind Vezaga. But a whistle and a foul and a yellow card early here to Rowan Martin. After it looked like Miami had lost the ball, Martin with an inadvertent leg fouls Vezaga just outside the box.
Yeah, and this is a tough one here. Normally early on in the match, you let the game kind of play out. I feel like Martin is a little bit hard done there. He's going for the ball, is just second to that challenge. But what this is going to do is provide Miami with an opportunity to either go straight on goal or to get good service in from a very dangerous spot on the pitch.
Inter Miami looking for the early lead. Really do just about whatever you want from this spot. Very perilous free kick to defend against. Leandro Padilla is the player on the ball for the Herons.
And expect for this to be flashed in front of goal. For someone to run onto it or straight on for a service.
Padilla with a shot. Just misses the target. He went for it all, Leandro Padilla. Can't blame him. It was a good angle, just missed the target.
Yeah, I like that there from Padilla, being aggressive here, forcing the goalkeeper into being honest toward his near post there. He does not miss by much. This is Inter Miami being on the front foot. We talked about the fact that their defense has allowed them to get here to the semis because they haven't really scored a whole lot of goals, but they're showing that they're willing to push the issue very early on and force Real Salt Lake back on their heels.
Now it's RSL in possession. Lincoln Ream and Martin through midfield, back to Royce Mihov. He slided forward, and RSL able to advance past the halfway line. Oh, nasty little move there from Martin. Now Peralta. He leads Kai Hornung a little bit too far and pushed out for a throw-in.
Oh yeah, who said it's too early in the morning for a little sauce and seasoning? Look right here, Martin sitting on a yellow card, but he says, okay, I can do this to you as well. This is very good entry into the attacking third. Keep your eyes out on Martin because he can facilitate the attack, dance and dazzle in the midfield, but most importantly, he is willing to do the work on both sides of the ball.
Was a star at GA Cup for RSL, who lifted the trophy in the U16 division. Sroga there to play it away from Cadet. Miami pressing high to start this game. This is the part of the week, Jaleel, where the energy starts to really become a factor. Even for, you know, a group of 15, 16-year-old kids, the playing every couple of days, every day early on in the tournament can really catch up to you.
Yeah, it's impressive how quickly both of these sides and all teams in the tournament to this stage have been able to get themselves recovered, flip the script, and then turn it around to put in very good shifts. And you got to remember tier 2, they're playing full matches. It's not condensed or shortened minutes like we saw at GA Cup. And we've had a tournament here where games have been pushed back, postponed, some canceled even. So to always be ready and to stay locked in for over a week is not easy to do. I give a lot, actually, let me say all of these young men a lot of credit for keeping themselves ready for every single game.
Rondell White ready for that long ball away from Gajek. Andreo Gajek playing underneath Van Parker on this RSL front line that has been so effective throughout this tournament. Here's Nash Dearman. Yarlis Valdez will send it back. Miami seems to want to be the team in possession early on in this game. To Paula. Valdez. Got it back into midfield. To Paula sitting deep. Headed in towards goal, but no problem there for Konstantinos Kyriazis, the goalkeeper for RSL. It's the left back, Gabriel Florentino, getting high. Miami will send both of their fullbacks on the overlap. Settled in by Rondell White.
It's a good ball in the pocket there from White.
Flicked up the line by Nassim Jena. No one there on the other end, and it'll roll out for Real Salt Lake. Does seem like Miami is the aggressor early on here, though, Jaleel.
Yeah, they absolutely are. But one thing that Real Salt Lake is clearly understanding is that if they're able to weather the storm in the first 15 minutes and the game can shift into their hands, they have a lot of attacking prowess going forward. So it's a very even match at this point in time, even though Miami is dominating the possession, if you will, but it's a locked chess match. Things typically open as you get toward the 20-minute mark. So how does Miami continue to use their possession and their momentum to score or get goal-scoring opportunities?
We'll take a crack at one here. Jana back out to Florentino, the left back. He'll take on Toyer into the area. Kyriazis claiming in front of Cadet and Valdez. RSL playing through their own penalty area. Nicely done there. Martin gets it out into the half space. Silva looking to turn. Here's Parker. Plays that one off of Gormley. That'll be a fun matchup to watch throughout this game. Parker against those two big center backs, White and Gormley for Miami. Sroga. Lincoln Ream. Ream, a pretty good name for a left back. Turns it over, and then they get it right back as Cadet and Valdez couldn't hook up.
Saw what you did there, by the way.
Yeah. Still starting for the national team at age 37. So many kids coming through, and there's old Tim. Currently starring for Charlotte FC and MLS as well. Silva. RSL now setting up shop in the Miami half. Here's Peralta attacking from the touchline. Curls it in back post, and it's Levi Williams called into action for the first time. The Miami goalkeeper claiming that one. Love to see both of these teams committed to playing with the ball and really showing well through the pressure. Here's Bezaga. Cadet makes a run, the flag comes up. Jumped the gun just a little bit there, Zidane Cadet, the center forward for Miami.
Yeah, but this is good progression for Miami, and Zidane Cadet is just barely offside here, maybe by a half of a step. If he gets that right, is a little bit more patient, he's going to get onto it, then he can size up the defender. Of course, this is a player that comes highly touted. Keep your eyes out on him because he has the ability to affect the game.
RSL now their turn to attack, and a foul committed by Rondell White. Free kick to Real Salt Lake. You were spot on, Jaleel. This has been a locked-in, even game through the first 10 minutes. It seems like each team is just getting their turn to attack the other defensive third, end-to-end so far. Silva will stand over the free kick for RSL.
And when you've been lacking possession early on in the match but done a good job to weather the storm, a set piece here from this wide-lying area is a good opportunity for you to shift momentum into your favor.
High arcing ball. Williams there to claim it at the top of the six. Florentino as Miami looks to get out on the break. We'll come to Mateo De Paula. Semi-final round of the U16s here at MLS Next Cup. The 15s just wrapped up earlier this morning. Now the 17 and 19 playoffs tomorrow here on MLS YouTube. And then all four finals will be broadcast over the weekend.
Yeah, make sure you don't go anywhere. You stick with us here on YouTube, because this tournament is just going to continue to get better and produce very good football here. As you get later on into the stages, it's when the quality really starts to rise and the cream of the crop is shown here. And we've seen stars born in these types of tournaments, whether it's the playoffs, whether it's GA Cup or Fest. You typically see the better players rising up as the stakes get higher and higher.
Here in Nashville, just outside Nashville, for the grand finale. Van Parker offside. Miami going right down the gut, but Kiriazis collecting. Looking for Parker to hold up play. It's broken up by White for a throw-in.
Yeah, it's good aggressive defending there by White. It's a small thing, but he doesn't allow Parker to turn and get comfortable. Anytime a 9 has a frustrating time in the earlier stages in getting on the ball, and they know that a center back is going to be right there behind them, making it rough, it's difficult for a 9 like Parker with so much prowess to really get rhythm into the game. I like what White has done in the early stages.
And as you said it, Miami hassling Parker to win the ball back. They can't hook up, though, down the line with Dearman. It'll be a free kick for RSL. Parker hasn't had a whole lot of influence, though, through the first 13 minutes, and that can be a number 9's life. Sometimes it's a long time before you can get into the game, and it only takes that one moment. He had 2 of them against Orlando in the quarterfinal. RSL trailed in that game twice, 1-0 and 2-1. They came back to win 4-3. And even that flattered Orlando a little bit. RSL were in control in the second half. Miami, meanwhile, a 1-0 win over Athletum FC to get into the semifinals, where they're facing the reigning GA Cup champs. Dearman.
Good
Curls
ball.
one into the box,
Ooh.
chested down. Valdez trying to get it out of his feet, couldn't do it. Teasing ball there from Dearman, nearly fell for Valdez.
Yeah, this is, again, good wing progression on the near right-hand side for Miami. Nash Dearman just sizes up the defense and puts in a very good ball here. And if there's VAR, that's going to go to a penalty kick. But, you know, unfortunately for Inter Miami, there isn't. You have to just go based on the call, or no call, I should say, on the pitch. But that's good service there from Nash Dearman just to test that RSL back line.
Yeah, that's right on that kind of shoulder, upper arm borderline there. Off of, I believe that was Toyer in there, but he gets away with it. Now it's Vezaga driving forward. Valdez. Time for the 1-2, broken up by Ream. Valdez fighting to try and win it back, but RSL will have a throw in. Already getting a little chippy. We cross the 15-minute mark. The stakes so high for these young men. And of course, it is all about teaching these guys the game and life skills as well. But a huge part of the game is learning how to win. And that's what these two teams have done repeatedly over the course of this season. This week, 2 more to the promised land. Srogo to Parker. Now he'll get a chance to wrestle with White a little bit more. He gets away from him this time. Van Parker, pass to Paula. And finally, Gormley called out of position to concede the corner. Van Parker, for the first time, making his presence felt.
Yeah, Gormley does a good job there to cover White and then put out a fire. But this is Parker really starting to perk up. We've talked about what an excellent 9 does. They affect the play. They're willing to do the dirty work and then sauce when they get into the attacking third. That's exactly what you're getting there from Parker. Very good stuff. Continue to watch the matchup between Parker and White, because it's been very tough at this point in time.
Corner on the way. Header by Peralta. Awkward for Williams, but he's able to watch it over the crossbar. Hunter Peralta just couldn't get any angle on that one. And Miami see out the corner kick. Took RSL until the very end of the first half to get their first goal against Orlando on Tuesday. They ended up with 4. And this Miami team now putting together a nice little shutouts to the previous round. Zvezaga. Florentino. RSL just nice, comfortable mid-block here. Neither team yet to really distinguish themselves as superior to the other. Maybe this will change it. Gajek taken down. No whistle. Gajek felt he had the penalty there after winning the ball. But again, Miami get away with it. This time it's Miami after there was an RSL penalty shout earlier.
Yeah, White, as excellent as he's been throughout the course of this first half so far, just takes a unnecessary risk in the back, and there's enough contact for me that you could arguably give that a penalty. But I guess the soccer guys are saying it's a little bit even. There's a handball on the other side that wasn't given in favor of Inter Miami when Nash Dearman put the good service in there. So a makeup call, if you will.
Yeah, they always evens out in the end, it seems. Penalty shouts on both ends, but nothing across. 19th minute. Locked in a stalemate between two pretty evenly matched sides, it seems, here at MLS Next Cup. Second ball won here by Peralta for RSL. Good defending there by the Miami captain, Dearman. Real Salt Lake, though, getting out more on the front foot here. Ream jockeying with Valdez, and it's the Miami winger had it briefly, then Ream picks his pocket from behind. Lincoln Ream into the final third. Ream draws a foul.
It's good stuff there from Ream. What I like from him is when he wins the ball back or gains possession in any facet in tight spaces, he doesn't just launch it forward. He looks to wiggle free, get a good angle, and then try to connect a pass. That's a sign of an excellent left back here who's confident on the ball.
Kyriazis well out of his penalty area, driving it down the pitch. Peralta will win it in front of Dearman. Dispossessed, and Padilla there to clean it up. Now Cadet driving forward from the number 9 position. Miami's turn to stretch the field. It's Florentino. Early cross, and no one there to run onto it. Haven't seen a lot of Miami in transition in this game. They've been dangerous when they've been able to build with the ball.
Yeah, they haven't needed to rely on transition as of yet in this game because their possession has allowed them to progress out of the middle third into the attacking third, namely down this right-hand side, where Nash Dearman's been able to get forward, good progressions to release him. There goes that very good touch on the ball there. I like how the left back for RSL is calm on the ball. Look for him to continue to do that.
Here's Vezaga for Miami. Good work from Ream. Did not end up with RSL keeping the ball. Now Valdez into the penalty area. Carlos Valdez just can't get free. It's a couple times we've seen him pop up in that spot and not have enough room to get a shot away. Now Dearman cuts it across. Dearman shot blocked by Sroga. Vezaga can't get past Mihov. Silva looking to break into space towards Parker, but White will get there. RSL defending in Kyriazis' lap a little bit, but they block a couple of shots. Miami starting to build some more momentum. This is Padilla, Vezaga. Miami's shown a lot of composure on the ball in this game, Jaleel.
Yeah, and what I like from their possession is that it has a purpose. They've been able to, like we've spoken about on a multitude of occasions already, use their possession to get into the attacking third. We talk about often in football how possession in of itself can be one of the most elusive stats. You can win the possession battle, but if you don't have purpose with it, you're pretty much doing yourself a disservice. But what we're seeing from Inter Miami in the first 22 minutes of this match is that they're able to push Real Salt Lake on their heels. They have good possession to be able to rest on the ball, but they're creating enough opportunities to get themselves into this match in terms of being more advantageous in RSL at this point.
And as good as RSL's been going forward, they have struggled defensively. They've conceded 3 times in each of their last 2 games. Been able to just outscore their opposition thus far. But Miami's got to feel good about their chances to get a goal, especially with how well they've been playing themselves this week. Gormley carrying forward a little bit, but doesn't like what he sees. About halfway through this first half, still locked in a stalemate. Cadet towards Florentino, but a little miscommunication. Toyer able to come away with it, and RSL will have a throw in. Catch the future All-Stars of Major League Soccer in action at the 2025 MLS Next All-Star Game presented by Allstate. It's 44 of the best young talents from across North America face off in an East versus West showdown. Streaming Monday, July 21st at 7:30 Central from Palmer Field, home of Austin FC2, only on the MLS YouTube channel. Plus, if you're in Austin, join us to watch the game live. Admission is free and open to the public. Here's Van Parker, one of those next stars.
Wow.
He blasts by everybody. Parker trying to square, and Williams comes out to break it up. The danger of Van Parker on display, and it's Levi Williams, the goalkeeper, who comes out bravely. Miami now looking to counter. Fezaga lofts it to Cadet. Nice touch off his chest. Cadet and Curiazis get caught up. RSL clears away. Now Martin looking for Parker again. This time White shuts it down. End-to-end action here in the U16 semis, and more to come. Silva can't wrestle past Padilla. What an intervention there by Levi Williams, Jaleel, to prevent Van Parker from opening the scoring.
Oh yeah, but Van Parker is showing at the flip of a coin, he can be extremely dangerous here. And if you're Inter Miami, you have to lock in to this kid because he doesn't need much to affect you.
Speaking of, here's Valdez. One-on-one with Ream. Valdez squares. Cadet. Wonderful defending in the end by Mihab, and then a foul on Cadet. Here's that chance again by Van Parker.
And this is how dangerous he can be, essentially out of nothing. Look at how many shirts in pink he draws, 4, 5, and then still gets through. That last touch there, Nash Dearman is very lucky that he doesn't go down, because if he goes down right here on that pull, you're looking at a dog-so and potentially red card situation. And what I will say lastly there, if Parker is able to pick his head up and square it, RSL is up 1-0. I like what he's been able to do because, again, he doesn't need too much time on the ball, but he understands moments and he can really affect you. Everywhere he goes, White is essentially tracking him. He's going either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. The center back there is making sure that he tracks him, almost man-marking him. And that focus and attention that you need to put on a number 9 on the defensive side can really displace the defense. Standout player so far has been Parker, hands down.
He has been one of the best players in MLS Next all season. A brace in that dominant GA Cup final win, 4-0 for RSL in that final. 2 more goals in the quarters against Orlando. Gormley. Dearman, broken up by Peralta, but it'll fall for Valdez, trying to poke it through to Cadet. Zidane Cadet against Sroga, looking for support. Takes it inside, knocked away by Ream. Miami's been able to penetrate the penalty area repeatedly, but yet to really get a clean look out of all of that. Dearman is going to hustle onto this. Cross comes flying in. It's dealt with by Mihav. Valdez using his strength to win it back. And Peralta does well to get her away. Now Gajek. Andreo Gajek, the number 10. Hasn't been too involved yet with RSL typically playing against the ball, but now they'll get a little possession. Mihav into the half space. Nice turn by Silva. Here they come. Silva into space towards Parker. He'll let it roll. Toyer, one touch to the byline. It is a goal kick. He did not get there in time before that rolled out, and Williams will be able to send it away. Silva in that right half space seems to be a problem for Miami as well. Get on the ball and turn. Bezaga, that was a little dangerous. White comes up with it. White to the middle, picked off. Toyer looking for Silva. Gormley does well to get it away. Looks like Gormley and White have switched sides. Maybe trying to help out on Parker a little bit.
Yeah, and they've done it consistently. They've done it consistently. White started on the left-hand side and has switched back about twice. He's man-marking Parker.
Here he comes again, Van Parker. Ball to feet, trying to twist his way around White. White does a good job to stand up to him this time. Parker, though, back on the ball. And this time it squeezes out and then blasted off his own shin. Off of Padilla, it'll be a goal kick. Parker continuously causing problems for Inter Miami.
Yeah, Parker's a standout player for a reason. Hits that little shimmy and makes good adjustment, and that's team defending from Inter Miami. They're going to try to swarm him. Like we said earlier, White is man-marking Parker, and then the coaching point is anytime he's able to wiggle free, make sure that there's one or two defenders that converge on him. But what that can allow Parker to do is if he picks his head up after he gets by or to the side of the first defender, if he slips it on to the likes of Silva and company, they should be able to either walk it into net or down to the end line for a cutback for a recycled run. In contrasting approaches, RSL has been resolute in their defending. They get numbers forward with teeth and menace, but it's a more direct style, playing off of Parker, either through link-up play or allowing him to turn and then run at goal. On the flip, what Miami's doing is they're relying on a cool, calm, collected approach through their possession, namely down this right-hand side, getting the captain here on the throw-in, Nash Dearman getting forward with potential service into the box.
Parker, little tug of the shirt by White, free kick. That might be the best strategy.
Yeah, you can just see the matchup on display here. On the defensive side of the ball, White has been up for every single challenge here. He knows that if he's able to win that individual battle against Parker, the chances of Inter Miami walking away into the next round will increase. But then on the flip side of that, Parker understands that they're man-marking him, a handball here. They're man-marking him. If he's able to evade the initial defender, he can either approach with a shot or dish off to the likes of his two wingers that play closely off his shoulder. So to continue to watch how Inter Miami goes about trying to stifle all attack coming through Parker.
Bezaga, a nice little turn past the midfield of RSL, and then a little miscommunication with Nassim Jaina, who has not really been able to find his way into this game. Rowan Martin.
Good ball wide.
Peralta. Parker running off the hip of the central defender. Peralta brings it inside. Peralta! Took a crack, just missed the target wide.
I like this here. It's a good grass cutter ball, and it allows Peralta to have time and space to be able to run downhill at the defense. And that little run to the left-hand side from Gayak just opens up the space. The defense has to respect it, shift to the right, and allows him to continue to attack toward that right-hand side. He's looking to go against the grain there, and that's a very good look. I like what RSL has been doing in the last 10 minutes of the game, because they've taken the tides of this game, shifted the momentum in their favor, and now it's Inter Miami, who was the aggressor earlier on, who's back on their heels.
You see the commitment to playing out of the back. RSL shuts down those passing lanes, but a really good ball by Williams, and Valdez just couldn't judge the hop off of that turf field. Lincoln Ream, again, very calm. You noted, Jaleel, with the ball at his feet.
He's been calm on the ball, but he's also been up for the challenge defensively. He's in good spots, dealing with progressions and overlaps, underlaps as well. There have been about 2 to 3 players that come into his zone that he's responsible for on the defensive side when Miami has teeth attacking down their right-hand side. And he's done well, understanding where he needs to be, getting touch tight. And this is the second time we've seen White here on the flip side losing possession.
Well, this one get to Parker. Gormley goes to ground. They're going to call it back. And it's a yellow card for Gormley on that last tackle.
Yeah, and again here, the ball just kind of gets caught under White's feet. He's a little bit unsure in terms of where he's going to go. RSL understands that they have the opportunity to pick him. The reason why Gormley is getting called for the foul is that he goes through the back of the attacking player there. Yellow card is a little bit harsh in my opinion. He does a good job as far as what your responsibility is as a teammate to cover your fellow center back there. Now they're going to have to defend this set piece and make sure that the wall is resolute.
Nicolas Silva on for the free kick. Certainly looks like he's lining up to shoot on Levi Williams' goal. 4-man wall for Miami. Silva! No, not quite. Kind of hooked away. He tried to bend it around the wall. But the sequence does end with one of Miami's center backs on a yellow card, and Van Parker continuing to cause problems. Padilla going long. Dearman. It's a nice ball down the line. Nash Dearman working against Ream. Cross is blocked comfortably by Ream. Hornan comes away with it. Now it's Gayak. Peralta. And Martin. Rowan Martin sees some green grass, offers his way through, and then White breaking in the slip ball towards Gayak. Been a busy first half for Miami's back four. But they have held up their end of the bargain thus far. Haven't seen Miami pop up on the attacking end in the last 10 minutes or so. Padilla goes long again. Cushion header down. Second ball falls for DePaula. Florentino. Florentino all the way near the penalty area, and a big-time tackle by Mihab.
Excellent tackle there from Mihab, and it allows them to get out on the break.
Parker draws another foul, this one on Gormley, who's on the yellow. Free kick RSL.
Oh, I love this here from Mihab. Just look at how he enters the right-hand side of your screen right about now. He's ready for the challenge, gets down low, and sticks the attacking player. That's excellent stuff there.
Made sure to get that foot outside the box, too, just in case.
Couldn't be any more correct there, Evan. When you're defending in that position, you don't want to back yourself into the box, because even if you get it wrong there, you give up a foul at the top of the box as opposed to a penalty.
Dearman, good defending there on Peralta. Nothing separating these two sides just yet. RSL increasingly the protagonists in this first half, and Parker winning the ball from DePaula. Parker driving forward, lost control of it a little bit, recovers, now Silva. Silva against Florentino, and it's the Miami left back who wins the exchange, another goal kick. So often after getting shut out or an offensive performance that wasn't quite that, you'll hear a coach say, well, I love the way we built, but that final ball wasn't quite there. And that feels like where RSL is at this point. Maybe both teams.
Yeah, I think it's both teams at this point in time. Both Inter Miami and Salt Lake are showing their ability to impose their will on the game as the pendulum swings of momentum back and forth. The matchups that you need to look out for are Parker and White, who's on the ball, conversely. And then on the flip hand side here, it's what happens down this right-hand side for Miami. Ream has been tasked with dealing with a multitude of players coming into his zone. He's been excellent up till this point in time. Which players on which side of the line are going to rise up and make this a match that is in their favor? Because right now, it's a little bit of a chess match where they're not really ready to step up and be counted here. But what we do know about both sides of the line is that there's quality players that can really affect this match. I'm just very interested to see who it's going to be.
Look how deep Parker just dropped off the line to help keep his team in possession. Now it's Silva breaking down the touchline. He's past Florentino. Silva into space. Here comes Hornung, and again Williams with a good read comes off his line. Silva's ball is picked off. Jaina, he's got some space. Jaina lifting it for Cadet. Beautiful ball. Zidane Cadet is offside. And the break comes to an abrupt end for Inter Miami.
Yeah, this is the second time now where Inter Miami is looking to go a little bit more direct.
Ooh,
and Zidane Cadet is called offside here. That one is tight.
That was
from our
razor thin.
Yeah, from our vantage point, Evan, I feel like he was onside, to be fair, because he's looking to toe that line and get just any advantage that he can. And he's been called offside twice. Like I said there, the near side AR has been tight onto Zidane Cadet. If I'm him, I want that one back. Let me run, bro. Let me run. Let me go.
He's been itching, there's no doubt. And we've talked so much about Parker, but Cadet a very good center forward at this level in his own right. Still a stalemate as we near the end of the first half here at MLS Next Cup in the semifinals of the U16s. Padilla directing that one down the line, but no one there. Miami wingers have swapped sides. Valdez now down the left, Jaina on the right.
That's just Miami trying to unlock things in a different facet, trying to give this RSL defense different looks, mixing it up, because the game has definitely lulled off. This first half is looking like it's going to be 0-0 going into the locker room, or the tents that I always like to call them. And what typically happens, though, when the psychology lulls off, a moment can happen. Here we go.
Azis runs into his own man, and Jaina cleared off the line by Sroga. Jaina trying to get back in, and
that's Ream down there.
Wow. Kyriazis and Ream fly into each other. Looked like Jaina was going to be able to pass it into the net. Kevin Sroga makes a huge goal line clearance, and now Ream is down and will be checked on.
Yeah, we just hope Ream is all right. He's had an excellent half, and he's been good on the defensive side of the ball and clean in his possession and facilitation on the other side of the line here. But this play is going to be about Sroga. He does what any good defender does. You get back into the back of that back defense there when your goalkeeper comes up short and he clears it off the line. Those types of plays are just as important as goals, Evan.
Kevin Sroga should certainly get a save at the very least on his stat sheet for that one.
Absolutely.
What a play.
Absolutely.
The instinct is to say right place, right time, but that shows so much awareness for a young player.
Absolutely. I don't think it's right place, right time at all. This is awareness. This is reading the game. You see here where the goalkeeper comes out, Ream is collateral damage, and then Sroga just has the understanding of sniffing out danger. And that's what all good center backs do. And they understand here too. Oof, you can see the bodies colliding there. As you're looking at a situation where Janas thinks, oh yeah, I'm for sure on the score sheet. Sroga does a very good job there to clear that one off the line. And I can't stress how important that type of intervention is. They're just as important as goals, and defenders typically don't get the credit that they deserve, but that's excellent stuff there from the young man.
Ream helped back to his feet. Hopefully he's able to continue here, having, as you mentioned, Jaleel, a really good first half from the left back spot for Real Salt Lake. MLS Next Cup all culminating this weekend. The winner of this game will face the Dallas-Atlanta winner Saturday at 12:30 Eastern. That's the second of two finals planned. The U15s will go at 9:30. And then on Sunday, the 17s and the 19s, all games right here on the MLS YouTube channel. Kiriazis to send it away for RSL. Toyer deputizing at left back for the moment with Ream off the pitch. We got a foul on Vezaga. And now Ream has been cleared and is making his way back to his position. Great to see.
Great to see, and the Real Salt Lake coaching staff will be very happy that he's okay. He's been tasked with a lot of responsibility, and he's been up for everything that's been thrown his way. What you would like if you're Real Salt Lake is to be able to progress him higher up the pitch.
Here's a left-footed ball. Padilla gets in the way in front of Gayek. Now Parker pressing Gormley. Williams, cool as a cucumber, gets it away. Been impressed with Williams in his first half.
Yeah, I have been impressed with Williams. He hasn't had too much to do, but when his number has been called, he's excellent. You can see the size there. He's actually, you know, deputizing in the center of the sticks for the injured #1 goalkeeper there. But what I like is that he's kept things calm for Miami when it's been a stressful situation for the two center backs, and White and Gormley, they have their hands completely full with Parker.
Williams is young for the level. He's Trinidad and Tobago youth internationals with their U17s back in March. Vezaga wins the ball, draws a foul on Kai Hornung. Into added time, 3 minutes here at the end of the first half. Still scoreless. Miami kept off the board by that fantastic goal line clearance from Kevin Sroga.
And that play there has been the difference in the entire match. There have been sniffs at goal and maybe some last-ditch challenges through the run of play, but nothing to the effect of a goal line clearance. So well done from Sroga. He's been the difference in the match so far, and it's ironic that it's a defender clearing it off the line.
You gotta love it, don't you, Jaleel?
Oh, you gotta love it, man. Those are the types of plays that I would live for. Sroga's a little way more calm and humble than me when on plays like that. I would flex on people and start yelling and stuff like that. So Sroga's able to keep himself mentally cool in this game, and that's one of the facets of his game. Look for him to continue to defend resolutely off the shoulder of Ream, because a lot of what Inter Miami is doing is attacking down that right-hand side. Ironically, they're trying to go up the left here.
And they've put Cadet out wide a little bit with Valdez playing through the middle. Miami's not afraid to move their players around, try and give RSL a different look. Thus far, unable to break the deadlock. Meanwhile, on the other end, Van Parker's had a couple of chances. That one where he was able to break through the entire defense, and Williams had to come up with a big save. Gormley looking route one. That one way too far. Kyriazis able to bring it back into his penalty area. That one falls for Parker, and it takes both center backs to keep it away from him.
And that's what
Parker fouls White. A little frustration there from the RSL center forward, and he's going to get a yellow card.
Yeah, just a little over exuberance, but what you said there that sticks out to me is that it takes both center backs here to keep him off the ball or away from anything that Williams would be worried about. And again, when you talk about an excellent nine, we're always, you know, lamenting them for goal scoring, but this type of willingness to do the dirty work, not really too sure where.
It was afterwards, once the ball went back to Williams, where Parker shoved Gormley in the back, trying to win it back, and that was where the yellow card occurred.
And these are the types of nines that all center backs have nightmares before and potentially after a game when you have to go up against them.
We'll let Jalil have some flashbacks to his playing days as the halftime whistle blows. 0-0 at the break between Miami and RSL. Some great defending from both teams in what was a pretty end-to-end first half. We'll be back with more from Murfreesboro, the U16 semifinals in the MLS Next Cup playoffs.
I know I'm fully attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. The jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Ready? MLS is game on. Dolce? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
New York versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Murfreesboro is where all the magic is happening this week. Here, the MLS Next Cup playoffs. Atlanta United, a 2-1 victory over Nashville SC in the U15s to advance to the championship. AJ Ricketts, Kalen Carr. Early on, Nashville controlled, earned the penalty, which they would convert.
Yeah, Nashville, the home team, came out and were the aggressors to begin with in this match. It was a really good run in behind from Rodriguez, who gets fouled and then steps up himself, cuts it across, the celebrations, and all of Nashville had the momentum. But credit to Atlanta United, they continue to pick and probe, move it from one side to the next. It's an excellent ball across from Martinez, and then finds the other winger, Gonzalo Riveras, brings them back level. That shifted the momentum in this match.
That was the 21st goal of the season for Riveras. High degree of difficulty on that finish, but he wasn't done, Kalen.
No, he was alert in the box, sets his feet well, steps back, ready for any drop down, and then just a compact finish towards that back post. And the celebration, once again, is second of the match already, and Atlanta United heading off to the final.
This summer, the center of the soccer world is right here. The world's best, the world's game, all in your backyard. 4 major moments, One summer like no other. Learn more at mlssoccer.com/summer.
Youngest MLS debutant, Kevin Sullivan.
Luna.
Yes! That is a banger! Absolute scorcher! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
Well, welcome everybody back to the Richard Siegel Soccer Complex here in Murfreesboro. 0-0 at the half in the U16 semifinal, the MLS NEXT Cup playoffs between Inter Miami and RSL. Want to wish you all a happy Juneteenth as we commemorate June 19th, 1865, when enslaved people in Galveston, Texas learned they were free over 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. It marks the true enforcement of emancipation across the U.S. and celebrates African-American freedom, resilience, and cultural contributions. Take a look at this piece from our friends at Nashville SC.
Get to know your city, enjoy your city, whether it be a sporting event, a great restaurant, a museum. Make Nashville better. The great thing about Nashville is our best days are ahead, and it all depends on us working together to make our city, you know, this wonderful, welcoming city for everybody.
You can catch a full piece there on Nashville SC's YouTube. Shout out to David Ewing for taking myself, Daniel Lovitz, and Julian Gaines through an amazing tour of Nashville through the historical sites that everybody needs to tap into. Not too far away from where we currently sit right now. And the last shout out goes out to Emily Pritchard for not only shooting the piece, but also editing it so perfectly. Happy Juneteenth to you all. We're back to the match in just a little bit.
Make sure you go to Nashville SC YouTube page. Check out that really, really great piece that Jaleel is featured in. We'll take a look at the halftime highlights. Chances on both sides in this one, Jaleel, but nothing across. Both teams defending pretty resiliently so far.
Yeah, the first strike at goal here comes off of a set piece for Inter Miami. It's just barely over the net. Doesn't miss by much. The progression up this right-hand side with the captain, Nash Dearman, has been where Miami has been most dangerous here. Is it a penalty kick? Is it not? The one thing is that it's not called here. If there's VAR, I think you're going to the spot. Again, keep your eyes out on the fact that Miami has been attacking on the right-hand side, but on the flip, you're talking about RSL's front man, Parker. He's been an absolute handful. As excellent as Nash Dearman was going forward, he's very lucky that Parker doesn't elect to go down there. And then on the flip, if Parker's able to square that, you're looking at a 1-0 score sheet. Here, Cadet is trying to get himself in on the score sheet as well. Good goalkeeping, good defending here. It's been very difficult. Every single team here down on the pitch has been fighting for every inch on the field here, Evan.
Absolutely have. RSL started to get a little bit more control as the half went on. Hunter Peralta flashing wide of goal. The biggest chance came from Miami near the end of the half.
As much as we were talking about Miami attacking down the right-hand side, it's the left where they put in a dangerous service. Ream gets collided in with the goalkeeper here, but Straga does an excellent job to understand where to put out a fire here, looking to pirouette and get a strike on goal. But interventions like that are just as important as finding yourself on the score sheet. 0-0 as we start the second half.
Right on time. There we go. Miami in pink, RSL in gold. As we begin half number 2, 45 minutes to decide who will move on to the MLS NEXT Cup finals, taking place for the U16s on Saturday.
What I'm looking for in this second half is who perks up on the offensive side of the ball. It's been Parker, but he needs more help for RSL. And then on the other side of the line, it's been Nash Dearman who's putting in good service for Miami.
Cadet now playing winger. Trying to get one past Toyer. El Jockey near the edge of the box, now out to Padilla.
Ooh.
Little sauce to free up from Silva. Ball goes in, headed away. Lincoln Ream getting in there defensively. Not the first time we've called his name. Rondell White, the center back, finding himself forward here as Miami has drawn numbers ahead, but he hits one straight to Kiriazis. Looks like Miami going back to their original alignment with their front three. Jaina left, Valdez right, and then Cadet, who ended the half as a winger, back at center forward. Gormley at left center back with White on the right-hand side. Williams has to give chase to this one. I haven't seen a lot of press from RSL. They've mostly sat in that mid-block, let Miami knock the ball around, but And it's come down to it. They've defended well enough to keep Miami off the score sheet.
Yeah, the one clear pressing trigger they do have, Evan, is when Gormley is on the ball and it looks like Miami can advance up the left-hand side and they decide to reverse it to the other center back there in White. That is their trigger to jump, because White has been caught on the ball 2 times that have almost led to goals in the first half.
And as you said it, we saw Rowan Martin come up after White. He smartly goes backwards towards the goalkeeper Williams. Miami 1-0 winners in the quarters over Athletum FC. Set up an all MLS semifinal, Dallas-Atlanta. The other game, the winners will face off on Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 local time in the final. Here's Ream for RSL, their first bite at the apple here in the second half. This ball forward broken up. And a handball on Nash Dearman. RSL has won their last 2 games 6-3 and 4-3. No such action to be found in this one just yet. They've found the stingy Miami defense hard to crack. Here's Cadet wide down the right, taking on Sroga. And Sroga doing enough. Cadet loses his footing. It's a throw in for Miami. Good start to the half, though, for the side in pink. They are quite used to this muggy, warm Tennessee summer playing down in South Florida. Certainly can get hot up in Utah in the summer, but it's more of that dry heat. Don't quite have the level of humidity that we've got here in the Southeast.
Yeah, the weather has definitely been a factor in this tournament, with multiple games being pushed back or canceled. The players here in the semifinals don't seem to care, though, and I like that character build from them.
Cadet takes a shot, and Kyrgios had it covered as it goes wide. Dearman again up that right-hand side, causing some problems for RSL.
Yeah, Dearman has definitely been the standout player for Miami, making sure that his defensive responsibilities are taken care of. Not too much has come up from the left-hand side of RSL's attack because the captain has been up for it. And then when you talk about what you're able to do when you step forward into the attacking half, Nash Dearman has been very good. He's the captain for a reason, because his leadership is of a top level. He's also the captain of the U.S. the U.S. U16 national team as well, because of not only just his leadership, but his ability to continue to galvanize the group, whether it's for club or country.
Interesting to see both teams' captains are their right backs. So Anders Toyer for Real Salt Lake wearing the armband.
Absolutely, Evan. Put some respect on defenders, man. We got to hold everything down, keep everything responsible, so when we progress the ball forward, everybody else can get into their rhythm and swag.
Love to see it. Florentino trying to shake Silva. Ends up going backwards. Gormley takes the space afforded to him. It's a center back carrying the ball forward. Now Dearman. Gonna go right into the teeth of the RSL defense. It's broken up by Martin. RSL look to break. Peralta can't hook up with Gajek. Rondell White read it well. Ream blasting it the other way, but straight to Gormley. Lays it off to White. All Miami to start this second half. DePaula floated forward. That ball falls. Nassim Jena in the box, pushed wide by Mihov. The shot into the side netting. Royce Mihov again coming up with some big-time defending after Jena nearly got in.
Yeah, but I like this here from Jena. A little bit of Route 1 football over the top. That first touch allows him to continue on in his ascendancy. He doesn't have much angle there. Goalkeeper is definitely in good position. But Jaina really perking up in this second half. Look for him to try to continue to push the issue.
Miami right back on the ball. Barely a sniff of it for Real Salt Lake since halftime. For a side that has scored 10 goals in its last 2 matches, pretty good way to keep them off the score sheet. Gormley. Miami just working it around Van Parker. They'll go to Florentino. A couple of changes getting set for Real Salt Lake as they look to flip the script a little bit on this start to the second half. White or shoots Padilla, pardon, a little bit. Now De Paula. They'll go wide for Florentino. Cadet dropping into the pocket. Padilla. Thought about it. Now he keeps it on the dirt for De Paula. Slicing one wide. Florentino. Into the box. Cut across. Blocked. Toyer just hoists it away for a throw-in. And RSL under pressure. Let's see if these subs can alleviate some of that for the Claret and Cobalt, who are struggling here to start the second half. And one of those 2 subs is a player we were surprised not to see in the starting lineup, the player of the tournament at the GA Cup, Rylan Hashimoto, coming on for RSL.
Yeah, and if you don't know Hashimoto, you've been asleep for months and years here. He's able to flip this game completely on its head. One thing that Salt Lake will be happy about is that the scoreline is level. They've weathered the storm when they need to, and they have prowess off the bench. Hashimoto can wiggle free. He can be direct when he needs to. He can affect scoring at the end of the day. So now the Inter Miami defense has a more star-studded attack that they have to deal with, not just Parker. Hashimoto coming into the match is definitely a danger man.
Raynon Magsino also coming in. Those changes to the front 4 for RSL as Andreo Gajek and Hunter Peralta both off. Hashimoto, 2009, very bright future for Real Salt Lake. This is a club that consistently produces quality young talent. Here's Parker going after Gormley. That'll push Silva into the middle as a 10. Hashimoto will go in on the right with Magsino on the left. Kiriazis in trouble and saves the corner. It'll be a throw-in, though, for Miami as that one bounced awkwardly off the goalkeeper.
Yeah, as clean as RSL has been in either their build out or getting themselves out of trouble when they regain progression or regain possession, that was just a little uncharacteristic play there. But what I like from the goalkeeper in terms of recovering is you live to die another day. If the first touch isn't clean, sometimes you just clear your lines. Well done to adjust.
Off the back of Cadet, too much on that one from Bezaga. Cadet was offside regardless, free kick. Lincoln Ream. Away from Valdez. Looking for Magsino's first action, but didn't get too far out in front of him.
With Magsino coming into the game, he has the ability to stretch the back line, get in behind a little bit more. He's a willing runner, has pace, and that will allow Ream to play more balls like that in the channel to keep the Miami defense honest. One of the parents down there just said, you know, who wants to win this game? And that's exactly what we're trying to figure out here. It's definitely gridlocked, a potential handball here. And these types of games, when it's gridlocked, you typically see your stars rise amongst the rest.
Will Parker be that star here? Hashimoto is going to have to sprint to get here, and he just doesn't have enough room. It was out off of Miami, so a throw-in coming for Toyer. He'll defer to Hashimoto. Tosses it in. Free kick as Jaina stuck a leg up and caught Toyer. Now a set piece for RSL.
Toyer doing a good job there to draw a cheap foul. It allows Salt Lake to take a little bit of the sting out of the game, but most importantly, bring the bigs forward and get onto a set piece. In a gridlock game like this, nicking one against the run of play, if you will, is typically how you can get yourself in a more advantageous spot.
Hashimoto, left-footed ball in. White elevates. Still alive here. Horning went down at the edge of the area, no call. RSL trying to keep it alive. Some sauce here from Maxino coming in from the left. Maxino's shot is blocked and cleared away. Well, we talked about Hashimoto, but Raymond Maxino, the other sub, showing off his skills. It's Real Salt Lake push for the opening goal. This one, though, will fizzle out as DePaula walks it out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about Maxino being able to come into this game and affect it. We were talking about him being able to stretch the line and use his speed, but this is his creativity. Skips 1, 2, 3 challenges and keeps this play alive. A shot off, but again, Gormley doing a very good job to just get in front of the ball there, make a good block. This game is completely locked. What it typically takes is one player being able to create a moment of brilliance or going out wide to draw the defense wide, pull them apart, and then can you either get a cutback or get good service in when the middle is so gridlocked on both sides of the line.
And it seems, Jaleel, like the subs have changed this game for RSL. They couldn't touch the ball, and now they've got some fresh legs out there. They're playing with a little bit more confidence.
And it's what you would expect. Of course, Hashimoto here on the ball, one of the best players in the Real Salt Lake setup. The ability for Salt Lake's coaching staff to bring him off the bench, you got a pocket ace there. And again, Maxino has the ability as well to affect the game, stretching the line. So Inter Miami has now a different challenge and a difficult one at that.
Look at Lincoln Ream bring the ball through. Lincoln Ream all on his lonesome. Lincoln Ream broken up by Williams. A virtuoso run by Ream. The goalkeeper gets in the way. Now Cadet the other way. Cadet, big save, Kiriazis. Falls for Vezaga.
Yeah,
goodness, what a sequence.
This is what we're talking about, Evan. The game is heating up here. So now it looks like the players down there on the pitch are hearing exactly what we're talking about here in the booth, because as we get into the 61st minute here, you would expect the exuberance to continue to ratchet up, and this is good stuff here. We need some excitement, and the players understand that.
End-to-end action. Both goalkeepers coming up with big stops. How about that run by Lincoln Ream? Are you kidding me?
I told you, man, this is one of the top players for Salt Lake. He understands what he needs to do on the defensive side, but whenever you can progress forward so effortlessly on a run like that, that is excellent stuff from Ream.
Handball there on Vezaga. It seemed like the Miami midfield just was not ready for this.
Look, you go from defending. I talked about his ability to regain possession and then make the right decisions on the ball. This is not just speed or physicality, that's intelligence as well. As we get back to the live play, this game has really started to open up, and that's what everybody down there on the pitch is going to want, and us here in the booth, because this game is getting more and more exciting. But put a circle around this kid right here, number 31, Ream. He's been excellent Anytime you're an outside back or a center back, I don't care if you're on the back line in any facet, your primary responsibility, Evan, is to defend well. But then in this modern era of football, you have to be clean on the ball. You have to be able to affect scoring as well. That's why, for me, he's been one of the standout players in this match, because he understands his responsibilities on both sides of the ball. And what's most important is he can execute.
Things really opening up here. Ream and RSL trying to take the lead. Nasty move there by the substitute for Inter Miami. That's Jefferson Moradell, and now a shot from Dearman over the bar from outside the box. Moradell just checking in. Curiazis, the goalkeeper, needs a drink. Everybody's got to take a beat here as this thing is just opened up dramatically.
Yeah, I don't blame Curiazis for needing a drink. That last sequence there, he earned every single thing that's in his water bottle there, whether it's some water or some Moss Plus, I don't know, but he's had a good game so far.
Here's Cadet. Cadet looking for space, and it's behind Moradell. And in for Kai Hornung for RSL. Or pardon, that's Hashimoto. He puts it behind Silva. Maxino back to save it. But only as far as Rondell White. Moradell checking in for Yarlis Valdez. Here he goes up the right-hand side. Moradell on his left with a shot, rises over the bar. Both teams clearly feeling the urgency at this stage. Get some fresh legs on the field, and one goal could be the difference to send your team on to the final.
Yeah, a little bit of a little shake here just to get to that favorite spot where you can either hit a curler or go strong on goal against the grain. I like that effort there. Miami perking up a little bit, but it's going end to end. Both sides, like you said, Evan, really taking the opportunity to ratchet this game up just another notch. Typically, as you approach that 70th minute, you start to understand when it's 0-0. Okay, if we can push the tempo and find that goal, it can be wind completely out of the sails on the other side, but this game has been gridlocked. I'm still waiting for somebody to stand up and be counted and be a hero in this match, because again, in the playoffs, stars are not only born, but they're fortified.
Svezaga for Miami.
Potential yellow here.
Pulled from behind by Hashimoto, and he will get booked. So the RSL star coming in as a substitute today. GA Cup MVP presented by Allstate. He gets a yellow card.
And it can be difficult to catch the rhythm of the match, especially defensively here. Hashimoto just trying to get hip side to be able to make a challenge. It's inadvertent contact to trip up the Inter Miami attacker. And the reason why it's a yellow card is because they're progressing into a transitional moment. Hashimoto now is going to need to be very calm, but smart and calculated in his defensive responsibilities in the rest of this match.
Miami back in possession, still somehow scoreless, as RSL has another substitute ready to go. White past Silva, now Moradell. Onto that left foot, Moradell shot blocked, Cadet, little back heel shot cleared away by Mihov. Well, that would have been something if Cadet were able to squeeze that one through on the back heel. Now it's Ream. Taking it the other way, broken up by Dearman. Fall for Hornung. Good play through tight spaces there by RSL, and now Hashimoto in open field. Hashimoto gets by the challenge of Padilla. Maxino brings it inside. Lays it off for Martin. Toyer. Martin flicking it in too far past Van Parker and out for a goal kick. Edge your seat stuff on both ends. The quality of these young guys, 2009 and 10 players on the field. RSL, an academy that needs no introduction as they make another change. Horning will come off the field for Real Salt Lake, and Ethan Reyes will make his way on. But Miami, in just a few short years, has turned out some terrific young players and clearly have plenty more in the pipeline.
Yeah, of course. You're talking about Morales, you're talking about Benjamin Kamashki, and it's not just Miami who's gotten much better in producing their young talent, as they're still a young club, which is crazy to say. A lot of the focus is on the first team for due cause, but you have to understand that Inter Miami has gotten much better in improving their pipeline and producing players that can really affect things for the positive at the first team level, and even, you know, push for moves to Europe or outside of MLS, and of course get themselves into the national team.
It's got to be aspirational too, to be in the building with some of your heroes every single day for an Inter Miami young player. Here's RSL going the other way. White with a terrifically timed challenge. It's fantastic, gutsy defending from Rondell White. What a play that is to break it up in front of Silva.
And what I like from White there is that his distribution after the tackle has improved, and that little clip ball is effective.
Oh, that one slips through from Florentino. It's Vezaga. Kyriazis breaks it up. Side netting. Konstantinos Kyriazis called into action, gets enough to deny Vezaga the opening goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about there from Kyriazis, but there's something that I want to point out to you guys that is crucial. This threaded ball takes out 5 yellow shirts. Excellent, but look at Sworga. He cuts off the angle. If he doesn't keep running after Kyriazis makes the tackle, look at 41. He understands, again, where to go, and he doesn't give up on plays. If he doesn't cut off that angle, it's an easy slided ball on the ground. Because he makes the attacker lift it up, it cuts off that angle. Again, 2 excellent interventions there to make it difficult for Inter Miami to get on the score sheet. Give all the credit to the big man and the goalkeeper. They are the reason why this scoreline is 0-0. Excellent stuff from the defense of RSL.
Both goalkeepers, Williams and Kyriazis, have been terrific. If RSL wins this thing on penalties, Sroga's almost got to be man of the match, right? I mean, he's saved a goal in the first half and did so well to prevent another right there.
He has.
We got an injury on the back end for Inter Miami. That is Rondell White, as the reason for the delay here. White has had a ton to do in this one. He's mostly held up extremely well against one of the best center forwards in any MLS Academy age group in Van Parker.
White's been excellent on the defensive side of the ball. I noticed that he pulled up just a little bit after making that last-ditch challenge where he extended himself. I wonder if there's somewhat of a soft tissue issue that's bothering him here. But look at this last challenge. He's patient, waiting for that touch. As the attacker gets his head up, just gets in there, makes that challenge all ball. You have to time that perfectly, because if you don't, you're going to be in a whole world of trouble. But see, you can see he kind of pulls up there on that left-hand side. But what I liked after the challenge, Evan, is that he plays a delicate clipped ball into that pocket. Very difficult to do, but it allowed Inter Miami to get out on the break. That is excellent defending, and he's continued to improve as this game has gone on. Got caught on the ball a couple of times early, and that's when you can see center backs kind of lull off or lose their confidence on the ball when they get picked off early. But he's shown his character to be able to still defend well, but be confident in playing the ball forward. Very well done there from White.
Makes his way back on as this one falls for Cadet from Moradel. Jaina. Florentino. Cadet trying to lay it off, but nobody there as Sroga clears it away. It's Florentino who hit that gorgeous slip pass through the entire RSL defense on that last Miami chance, with a free kick drawn by Gormley. Still no goals despite ample opportunity. Bend but don't break on both sides. Miami holding possession. Padilla dropping in, the deepest of the three midfielders. Cadet coming off the line. Slips one towards Moradel, broken up by Ream, and a good read there. Now Maxino. Fouled by Dearman. RSL's turn. Sroga. Lost to Mihov. Now room to work with for Hashimoto. Across halfway. GA Cup MVP. They work it to Martin. And Toyer. Good defending from Miami. Hashimoto again, looking for that ball in. Hashimoto with a strike! Can't hit the target. Williams watches it out for a goal kick. Hashimoto for about 35 yards thinking, why not me?
Of course, and this is why Hashimoto is one of the top-rated players in the MLS Next setup, because he doesn't need much more than a moment, a little bit of space there with his dangerous left foot to affect the goal scoring here. If he's able to get a little bit closer to goal, that strike is going to allow him to prevent or to cause more trouble for Williams. Look for Hashimoto to continue to rev his engine and get more comfortable in this game, but he's running out of time with about 15 minutes left in regulation. Ooh,
Paula with a nice move. His first ball forward was knocked down. It finds its way to Moradel. Now Dearman inside for Vezaga and blasted away. This is going to be a corner for Miami. Liam Vezaga earning a corner kick for the Herons, and now a rare set piece. There haven't been a lot of them in the second half. We've seen so much good open play from both teams.
And good goalkeeping as well.
Moradel, the left footer, off the bench to take the corner. He's been a bright spot since subbing on. Vezaga, the short option. Swung in. Kyriazis gets a punch. Cadet heads down towards the post. Can't get it clear yet now. Finally pushed away by Real Salt Lake. Nervy in there for the Claret and Cobalt. The Paula. Moradel clips it in towards the back of the area. Ream got ahead to it for another corner.
Just chaos in front of the goal here. And goalkeeper does a good job again to be first to it. At the end of the day, there's more yellow around the ball than there is pink. That's why RSL is able to get the clearance. But this game here has been cagey, to say the least. Not much in it as far as clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities are concerned, Evan.
And both defenses have played extraordinarily well. Seen mature, advanced defending from these young players. Sroga was displayed that maybe more than anybody. Gets his head to this one. Parker can't hook up with Maxino. Here's Gormley, the center back. Lays it off. Cross into the box. And a crucial header there from Toyer. Come down to Padilla. Padilla right to Kyriazis, who makes the easy save. Sroga going long. And nobody there. RSL kind of pinned back at the moment, Jaleel.
Yeah, they really are. And this has seemed to be the theme of this game. The momentum shifts hands about every 10 minutes or so. And right now, Miami has the momentum. If they're able to get one, it'll be difficult for Real Salt Lake to find a potential comeback or an equalizer, because there isn't that much time left. But easier said than done, because RSL has done a very good job to make it difficult for Miami when they get themselves into the attacking third. With so many numbers behind the ball, very good defensive performances on both sides. Because whenever the momentum has shifted into the hands of whichever offensive side, the defense has been up for the challenge.
It's RSL suffering at the moment. Reyes, the substitute, breaking that play up. Inter Miami pushing for a late winner. Try and knock off the GA Cup champs. Cadet can't hang on to it.
Evan, one thing that Miami's gotten away from is progressing their right back and the captain Nash Dearman forward. They did that very well in the first half, rather, and that allowed them to be able to push Ream further back on the left-hand side of the defense for RSL and get more numbers into that area, putting in good service for Cadet and company to try to look to get on. What they did in this second half is they've pushed Zidane Cadet a little bit further out to the wing, which is not really where he likes to operate. He likes to operate in between the boxes, and it's been difficult for him to find a stronghold in this game because he's been further pushed wide in this second half.
And we've seen him almost creator more than goal scorer in some of those runs of play from Inter Miami. Now it's RSL with a rare moment of possession here. Mihov forward. Parker looking to turn on Gormley. Parker stays up. Wiped out. We'll play on here though, no foul. Gormley on a yellow, remember. Hear the crowd a little bit animated at the lack of a whistle there. Maxino gonna get there. Parker crashing the box. It's out for a corner off of Dearman.
This is better for RSL. Using their ability to progress down the left-hand side. We've talked at length about Maxino's ability to use his speed to create problems for Inter Miami. He showed that exuberance to come into the match to change it earlier on. Now he's back affecting the game.
Silva on the corner. Over the head of Williams and out over everyone. It did take a touch. Maybe Williams glanced it with his glove. And it's another corner for RSL.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. And RSL is understanding that if you create chaos right in front of Williams and put dangerous service in there, it can make for easy tap-ins.
This will be Hashimoto. 80th minute, RSL looking for a late winner. Curled in, and it falls through for an Olympico! What a moment! It was going to take something truly special. And sure enough, Real Salt Lake provides.
Like we just talked about, create chaos and put the service in an area where it makes it difficult for Williams. He misjudges this just a little bit where he's stepping forward, but the service is going toward that back post. That little step and hesitation going forward is why the goal is scored here. Hashimoto comes in off the bench and affects the scoring. This is exactly what you're supposed to do when you come off the bench. This is why he's one of the top players in the whole MLS Next setup. He's able to pull moments of brilliance out of his hat when the game is completely gridlocked. 1-0 in the 81st minute.
The GA Cup MVP with an Olympico to break the stalemate. What a moment for Rylan Hashimoto, one of the most exciting young players in Major League Soccer. What a future in front of him. Tremendous bit of quality there. I mean, that easily got, it didn't sneak in. That was cushioned into the back of the net.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about how RSL has understood. They found something there where they were able to exploit. Create chaos in front of Williams and get dangerous service there. Hashimoto understands that. He was looking to play it toward the back post and understands if you whip it in, it's either going to go in on its own like it did or somebody's going to get a touch on it. That's intelligence there and execution. Very well done from the substitute. And you say substitute somewhat begrudgingly, because the question was, how come he's not starting? But the RSL coaching staff, they understand that if they're able to get to the later stages of the game, bring Hashimoto into the second half, again, they have a pocket ace in their back pocket, where when everyone else's minds are a little bit weary and the bodies are physically drained, an excellent player can affect the match for the better. Here he goes again with facilitation.
Chance to kill it off on the counter. Silva there to help out Maxino, but they get tied up. Rondell White clears away. There was a sub for Miami. Matthias View, the center forward, number 9, has come on for the Herons. Try and get them an equalizer here to send this to penalties.
One more goal for Salt Lake. You'd like to think this game is over, but Inter Miami still has a lot of time to get themselves in this game. And we all know that soccer is going to produce, you know, half chances or just a moment for you to get back in it. So what does the response look like from Miami as they continue to stay under pressure?
Here's Parker. Van Parker broken up by Williams. Rebound shot is in! Nathan Silva! An acrobatic half volley that likely sends Real Salt Lake onto the finals. RSL going deep into the bag of tricks over the last 3 minutes to put Miami away.
Yeah, deep into the bag of tricks, and also Route 1 football as well. Goes over the top. We haven't said Parker's name that much in the second half, but he has been excellent, wreaking havoc all game long. Give Williams a lot of credit because he makes the initial save, but guess who it is? Silva being ready on that back post for the ricochet here. He's going to pop into the left-hand side of your screen as the initial save is made, and then not taking a first or second touch, rather. First touch there, celebrates to the corner. This is what we love about MLS Next. All of the RSL Academy celebrating. You're seeing a lot of people in that corner being willing and ready to dap him up. Hey, yeah, we are ready.
Look at that.
Absolutely. They want to go into the next round. It's lit here in Murfreesboro.
Look at that coordination. Nicholas Silva with the second goal for Real Salt Lake. Goodness gracious, what a turn of events. Hashimoto, the Olympico, Silva, the sideways volley. Some serious quality shown by these young players. Miami trying desperately to stay afloat, but Real Salt Lake having tons of joy on the counter. Maxino stolen away by White. And Silva, he's feeling himself now.
Oh, yeah.
Nicholas Silva wins the throw-in.
Everybody's going to be feeling themselves. They score a goal like that, and especially to put your side up 2-0 in the 85th minute. Excellent performance in totality for Silva. He's been willing and ready to do the defensive work, and then we've been talking about this game will get unlocked by moments of brilliance. Hashimoto delivers the first one, and then Silva backs it up. This is a difficult and steep mountain to climb with very limited time for Inter Miami, but it's still not done. We've seen crazier things happen in football, Evan.
Sure have, and this Miami team, they've been relentless throughout this game, just have not been able to break through, whether it's Kyriazis or Sroga or Mihav. That spine for RSL is held up. And now a 2-goal lead. Vieux puts it down for Moradel. It'll be a goal kick, walked out nicely by Lincoln Ream, another young player who has been sensational defensively and occasionally offensively for Real Salt Lake in this game.
Yeah, defenders don't typically get a lot of credit, but if you look at who have been the most important players for Miami, it's been for RSL, it's been the left-hand side of their defense. Ream and Sorga have been excellent. 2 goal-scoring opportunities, clear-cut chances for Miami are cleared off the line. Goalkeeper does an excellent job as well, and that allowed the scoreline to stay level for as long as RSL needed it to, for 2 moments of brilliance. Hashimoto coming in the second half to be the difference maker with the game-winning goal at this point in time, and then Silva, who started the game, got better and better as this second half went on, waited for a solid moment, and he pulls a trick out of his hat as well.
I think Rylan Hashimoto's got a pretty good chance to be part of the MLS Next All-Star game. That is coming up on July 21st, 7:30 p.m. Central at Palmer Field, home of Austin FC2. streaming only on the MLS YouTube channel. If you're in Austin for the festivities, admission free and open to the public. Don't miss your chance to see stars like Rylan Hashimoto and perhaps Van Parker, who has just been subbed off for Easton Wilson as Real Salt Lake tries to see this out. No goals in this one for Parker, but consistently threatening, and might as well get an assist on that second goal, even though he won't officially.
Absolutely, Parker has been a handful to deal with, and that's what nines do. They understand good moments to be able to affect the game. He does excellently to set up that second goal there.
Padilla just putting one into the mixer here. Villa poking it, but Kyriazis makes the save.
Yeah, this is a solid set piece opportunity off of the rebound here. Good technique to stay over the ball. Don't need much power. If it's to the right or left of the goalkeeper, you can threaten the net. But the RSL keeper's been excellent in between the sticks. Here they come again.
Wilson running after it. Williams, though, at the edge of his area with enough room to make the play. Turn by Vezaga. Miami coming forward, another substitute, Alerton Mendez, sending it out to Florentino. DePaula, Dearman, Mendez. RSL defending in that low block now with a 2-goal lead. Hashimoto and Silva. Moradell into the box. Cadet with an acrobatic shot. Didn't miss by much. Zidane Cadet may be hard done not to have a goal in this game.
Yeah, he's been close and been dangerous. And again, talked about the fact that he is way more dangerous and effective in between the sticks. If he stays in the box, he's much more dangerous. You don't necessarily want to see him out wide. That's a very good look there. And he's frustrated because it's been difficult to find a breakthrough, but that's good ingenuity to try to find himself on the score sheet. Ooh, we might have a potential stoppage of play after this play comes through.
Williams gets it away.
Yeah, this looks like a serious situation here. Ooh. Potential head injury. Of course, these are things that we take very seriously. You can see the RSL training staff coming over to take a look at the player there on the ground.
Who is down for Real Salt Lake, and very quickly, good job by the referee and the trainer to jump all over that, Jaleel.
Yeah, and Martin has done a good job to manage this game out. He took a yellow card early in this game, and when you play in the center of the park where he plays and you get a yellow card so early, you have to really manage your tackles. You can't dive in. He's done an excellent job to get himself to the 90th minute. Hope the young man is all right, because he took a ball to the head or the face. Very, very close confines there. Seems to be okay because he sat up. And here we go, looking at tomorrow's matches here, Evan.
Both U19 semifinals tomorrow. Orlando City, who were the U18 GA Cup champions, multiple first-team stars with them. They take on Cedar Stars Bergen, the last elite academy left, and then it's an all-MLS matchup. RSL trying to get to another final. They'll take on the LA Galaxy at 12:15 Eastern time, all streaming right here on the MLS YouTube channel.
Yeah, RSL is looking for multiple trophies and multiple age groups here. Keep your eyes out on Cedar Stars Bergen. This is a top team out of the Northeast, but when you talk about top teams out of the East, Orlando in that U19's age group, they are definitely the team to beat in this tournament.
Barely survived against Toronto yesterday, 3-3 on penalties to get into the semifinals. They entered as the favorites to win the whole thing. Meanwhile, looks like we might get some penalties down on the other field. Dallas, Atlanta, 1-1 deep in the second half. Kyriazis here in front of Moradell as Miami's embers fade away. A great run from Inter Miami in these MLS Next Cup playoffs. Their U17s are still alive. They'll play in the semis tomorrow. The U16 run looks like it's coming to an end here as Real Salt Lake's star players. As you said, stars stand up. They make the difference down near the end of this one. Wilson tagged with the foul on Rondell White. Oh, and then a shove from Padilla on Wilson. Some frustration from Leandro Padilla, and the referee making sure it doesn't go anywhere. Still yet to be determined who RSL will see in Saturday's final. That one will take place right here on the MLS YouTube channel at 12:30 Eastern on Saturday. Atlanta already in the U16 final. They're hunting multiple trophies here this week in Tennessee. Atlanta come from behind win over Nashville in the U15 game earlier today. Final moments here as RSL put this one to bed with two spectacular goals in rapid succession. Wilson offside, trying to get in on the counter. Jalil, sometimes it's just down to that star quality, isn't it? You just have match winners do match-winning things. Is there a whole lot more to break down about this result beyond that?
Yeah, I think the defense for Real Salt Lake deserves a lot of credit. They've frustrated this Miami side. They've come up big in making individual plays that, again, kept the scoreline level for enough.
Cadet this close. That one fell kindly for him, but he misses the target.
The Real Salt Lake defense has done just enough to frustrate the likes of Zidane Cadet here on screen and come up with individual moments of brilliance to keep the scoreline level for long enough for the offense to be able to perk up and find a moment of brilliance. You bring in Hashimoto on the other side. You can see Sorga here. He's excellent for me. Excellent and ready to pick balls up off the line or make last-ditch efforts, cover his goalkeeper when the goalkeeper had to come off the line. And for me, that allows you to get your chance creators on the other side of the line the ability to score the goals and present their moments of brilliance as well. Hashimoto, of course, and Silva as well.
And there's Sroga again with Kyriazis in to deny Cadet here at the very end.
And that's the epitome of this one. Be very solid on defense, weather the storm, and then allow your playmakers to create moments of brilliance when they need it the most. Excellent full team performance for Real Salt Lake, and they're deserved winners here.
And that big question mark for Miami is going to be the what if about that open net Jaina thought he was shooting onto at the end of the first half when Sroga made that goal line clearance. Referee giving Miami an extra bite at the apple here. Mihav plays it away. Florentino. Toyer this time. Wilson run onto it. Easton Wilson looking for a statement here at the end. Wilson, 3-0. Easton Wilson puts a cherry on top for Real Salt Lake. Another statement performance late from the GA Cup champs as they look to add MLS Next Cup to the trophy case on Saturday.
And this is, again, where defense turns into offense. Just launch it up the channel. This is not just a blind clearance. This is an excellent facilitated ball curled into the run. And that's doing a lot there. There's a lot to do here. Understand that this is not an easy goal to score. Williams on the goalkeeping side of things is very frustrated because he feels like he's cut the angle off, but the finish is excellent. Real Salt Lake understanding exactly how to manage this game. Give a lot of credit to Williams finishing this game off.
And that's the final whistle. Real Salt Lake with 3 games in the 80th minute or later, 3 goals I should say, all kicked off by this phenomenal Olympico from Rylan Hashimoto, who's almost forced his way into the man of the match conversation.
You're going to be the man of the match if you can break the deadlock in a very cagey game here. Olympico, you don't see this often here, but then Williams, just that step forward and misjudging it is how Real Salt Lake is able to find themselves on the score sheet. And you can see the young man right there, the GA Cup MVP, is taking his prowess from Florida here to Tennessee. Rylan Hashimoto, put a circle around this kid's name because we're going to be talking about him for years on end, Evan. I can guarantee you that.
Silva and Wilson cap it off. 3-0 RSL on to the final. Saturday, 12:30 Eastern on the MLS YouTube channel. That'll do it for us for today's coverage from Murfreesboro. For Jalil Anibaba, my name's Evan Weston. Join us tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern for Orlando City and Cedar Stars Bergen in the U19 semis. For all of us here at MLS Next, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, everybody.
This copyrighted broadcast of the 2025 MLS Next Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC.